Welcome to Odds.com's NBA coverage. We have just passed midnight. It is now Tuesday, December 29th. We have our NBA experts ready to rock and roll, break down this card, get you ahead of the market, and attack Tuesday's 10-game slate. We are coming off a monstrous Christmas. So far, our NBA picks have been extremely hot. 22 wins, 8 losses, plus 12.96 units as a group. Trotwam joined us for our Christmas Day games. He went 4-1, plus 2.90 units. ROI 58+%. Wham, how you doing on this Tuesday morning?
I'm feeling great. It's Tuesday morning on the East Coast. It's nice and rainy out here on the West. Feeling great, man. Bundled up. I got my hoodie on. It's a Rockets hoodie on as well. I'm not trying to switch on the team. Odds.com. My guy, what's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling so good about the way we've been seeing these early season, but we know it can change quickly. So I don't want to do too much ass slapping, but it feels fucking good. And the money is coming in. Let's go to our man Dutch Boy Fresh on the show. 11-5, 68.6%, plus 5.36 units. ROI plus 33.50%. My God, nice looking record, Dutch. How you doing tonight, my man?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, Jimmy. Man, I to keep it real, had a couple bad beats in the prop market tonight. The Joker first half. I had a over 21.5. He's got 18 at halftime, 19 at the end of 3, and gets no run. I had a double-double with James Harden. He has 28 at halftime, I believe, with 6 assists. Finished third quarter with 34, I believe, with 8 assists, and gets no run in the fourth. So I brick on both of those. I do got my man D. Lil tonight, over 27.5. Got pretty solid juice on that as well. I believe he had 23 at the end of 3. So, give me 6 more, 7 more points. No, 5 more points, and we good to go. But the show pick's been fire, so I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. It's a morning time where you're at, but it's late night here. So it's time to put the women and children to bed, and let's go looking for fucking dinner, boys.
Let's go. I opened my season 1-1, but on Christmas went 6-1. So I'm 7-2, 77.8%.
Holidays.
Plus 4.70 units, ROI plus 52.22%. I've made a decision this year because I'm not doing the daily live show, that I'm only going to make bets and drop action when I work with you guys, when I work with make NCAA bets when I work with Max, make NBA bets when I work with you guys, make NFL bets when I work with Rob. If I study it and break it down, then bet it. I don't need extra action these days. My palms are leaking as I speak. Let's get to work. December 29th. We have 10 games on the slate. We are starting with 7 p.m. action. New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers. Knicks 1-2 on the year, 0-1 on the road at the Cavaliers, 3-0, 2-0 home. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Cleveland, Ohio, stadium that I've been to, and that is very near and dear to me. I think it's a spectacular place to watch basketball. I mean, it was. It was. But this team is showing a lot of hope. And it all starts with Colin Sexton averaging 27 points a game and Darius Garland averaging 19 points and 8.3 assists per game. Let me pull up the market and see what we are dealing with right now. Here we go. Cleveland is 3.5-point favorites. This total is at 217 or 217.5. Let's talk about the Knicks. Their pace so far this year is 25th in the association, 100 possessions a game. Cavs are 16th at 101.92 possessions a game. After losing their first 2 games to the Pacers and Sixers by double digits, the Knicks shocked us all with a 130-110 win at home over Milwaukee. Alfred Payton went for 27 points on 12 of 16 shooting. Julius Randle went for 29 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Could that possibly happen again? RJ Barrett averaging 17.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, 4.3 assists. We see that happening. Austin Rivers is hurt. Obi Toppin and Omari Spellman are hurt. They're out. Alec Burks, Dennis Smith Jr. are questionable. The Cavs are coming off their 3rd straight win, sitting here 3-0, 118-94 at home over the Sixers. Without a beat out there, Andre Drummond dominated, 24 points, 14 boards. Kevin Love set out with a calf injury. He is day-to-day. It is unclear whether he'll be in the lineup. Let's start with our man, Wham Bam. Here we go. Knicks Cavs. What are you thinking? Is there a move for you?
It is a move here, and I'm just wanted to talk to you guys about it. I'm leaning towards the Cavs. The Cavs have been on my radar. I bet them already. Got one of these 3-0 starts that they have started off with, and they're playing pretty good defense, man. I had seen a quote from Andre Drummond that he believed that a lot of NBA players don't believe that they're going to be a good team. So he already have that underdog spirit. Without Kevin Love, though, Jimmy, they're not going to have Kevin Love in this game, and they're laying 3.5 against this team, the Knicks. That, man, like you said, they're really slow at pace, sixth slowest place. As far as Alec Burks, if he's not in the game, that's a big loss because he's been playing phenomenal in these last 3 games. 20 points per game, 3 assists, 3.7 rebounds. That guy's looking like he's been on fire. And also shooting at 66% from 3. Ridiculous. If he's not in the game, man, you got to go ahead and take the team that's already hot, that feels like they're the underdog. The Cavs might be the spot. I want to hear you guys speak on it. Not something I made official yet, but this might be, bro.
Cavs might be the spot. Let's see what our man Dutch Boy Fresh has to say.
Well, to be honest with you, Jimmy, I'm not too big on this game. There's a lot of question marks both sides. Like you mentioned, the Knicks didn't look too well first 2, and then they go and lay it on Milwaukee. I believe Milwaukee overlooked them. The Cavs, I like what I've seen, actually. You know, they're young kids, and they got a little bit of veterans on them. Guys that, you know, just show up to work. If I had to make a play on this game, it would only be Cleveland. But I have no play on this game. This one is kind of more questions than anything for me. Sit back and watch.
It is a bum fight. Do we want to risk our money here? Is the question.
There's 10 games, so I'm not going to.
I don't hate on it. Without Alec Burks, with Alfred Payton coming off a 12 of 16 day, can they run with Sexton and Garland? Wham bam.
So I like how he mentioned that they are coming into work. That's another quote from JaVale McGee. He said that they got guys that's ready to come into work, ready to come in and do the hard work. As far as what they're missing with Kevin Love, they have an already steady big man lineup with JaVale McGee, with Andre Drummond, with Larry Nance Jr. I like those young guards, like you're saying as well, and it's all proven. I mean, it's all heard, but that Darius Garland is feeling a little bit better about this season rather than last season. He's looking a little bit better as well. Colin Sexton's giving you those good numbers on fantasy. I like this play, man. I think this is going to be one of those plays I'm going to lock in at 3.5. I think we're going to get it, and it might go up. So the Cavs, it is one of those games, like you said, it's a bum fight because these teams are projected to be pretty trash. You know what I mean? But as far as the talent that's going to be on the floor, if you're going to have to lean on Frank Ntilikina to have another great game like he did last game, I don't think that's going to happen. Like you said, Jimmy, with Julius Randle, we already know he's up and down. I like this. I like this team. And as far as Bergstaff goes, for the coaching for Cavs, they actually believe in this kid. I mean, this guy. So I like to lean towards that rather than Tom Thibodeau, you know, making these players retire a little earlier. You dig?
Work on them.
I like it. I think the Cavs roll here. I think they win their 4th straight game. I do. I think especially Knicks feeling good about themselves. Would you like to make this official play, Wham Bam? You're 4-1 on the season.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the Cavs minus 3.5. That's going to be something to lock in for sure.
At resortscasino.com, we can give you the minus 3.5 on the Cavs at minus 109. I'm line shopping here on odds.com. You are locked in on the Cavs, and I'm going to roll right along with you on the Cavs.
I might need to join the party. It did stand out to me. I have a lot of questions on both teams, but the Cavs, they play way better basketball the first 3 games. There's no way I think you could fade them here. It's either, you know, Cavs or nothing, and maybe it should be the Cavs for me as well. But I'll stay off. I won't make it anything official.
We move on. More 7 p.m. Eastern action. The Golden State Warriors 1-2 on the road at the Detroit Pistons. 0-3, 0-1 home. Little Caesars Arena, Detroit, Michigan. One of the exciting things about moving back here was that I was going to be able to be at Little Caesars Arena often this year, and I just not being able to makes me want to go so much more. I can't wait to be in downtown Detroit watching the Pistons play, man. You want cheap tickets, baby. I go to the games when they play the worst teams in the league, man.
Yeah.
I like
them grimy spots too.
I fucking love them.
Me too.
Warriors
"Send me the-"
first in pace, 112 possessions a game. Pistons 17th, 101.77 possessions a game. Golden State 3.5-point favorites. This total sitting at 222.5. We're going to start with Dutch, but let me give a quick intro. Warriors coming off their first win of the season, 129-128 at Chicago on Sunday. Steph Curry goes off for 37 points. Wiggins watched our Christmas Day breakdowns. He heard the anger in my voice when I spoke about how he's got no hustle whatsoever, and I would open hand slap him in the face every time he came to the bench if I was sitting on that bench. He goes for 19 points and 9 boards. He hustled. Wiseman's only getting 5.7 rebounds a game. That has to change. Draymond Green remains day-to-day with a foot injury. I don't expect him back. Marquise Chris is now out indefinitely. Pistons are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing 128-120 at Atlanta tonight, because it's Monday night we're shooting this. Jeremy Grant looked great. Jeremy Grant and Josh Jackson each put up 27 points. Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose rested. They'll be available tonight. Jahlil Okafor is out with a foot injury. Warriors, Pistons. Dutch Boy Fresh, take it away.
Okay, so that was a big win for the Warriors last night with Damian Lee hitting that big three to put them over the top. They obviously didn't cover. I did have the Warriors minus 3.5, so not too big of a win for me. But as a team, I know that can lift up the roster a little bit. I did have Curry in the over 27.5, I believe was the point. So he got there. So, we did all right. But when I look at this game, the Warriors 0-3 for the season ATS. They're 0-3 ATS in the last 3 versus the Pistons. Now, I want to bet the Warriors. I really do. I want to load up on the Warriors, but I can't. Like, it's almost the same thing. I have a little bit of a salty taste in my mouth last night, but I do feel like they're probably going to flip the switch here. But when I looked at the game, I believe Oubre's out, Draymond's out, and Looney's out. So, and then you also mentioned that the Pistons, it is a back-to-back, but they rested some players, so they should be, pretty good to go. So I'm going to lean. I know it's going to sound real chalky, but I'm going to look for Curry to get off again. I know we don't have many props, but that's the only play I'm going to have on this game is going to be a prop look on Curry. Now, gave up 32 to Sexton and Garland in the same game. They gave up 23 to Malik Beasley, and they just gave up 29 to tonight. So I guarantee it, but I mean, Steph's getting 30. He's got shots, obviously, with Oubre out. Draymond's not coming back. Looney's not there. I mean, it's the Steph show. They might not. I do believe they win this game, but at this time, I'm not ready to make it official. But you can count on me having a Curry prop tomorrow, and it will be for points.
And one thing that we're ensuring here is that I have your Steph Curry props. They are now up at FanDuel. They are now up at FanDuel. So now we know that Dutch loves to focus on props, and the day after the video, Dutch at any time wants to make anything official, he can. I'll tweet it out, make it official. But we have 29.5 points for Steph Curry.
What's the juice on that, my man?
You want to take that?
What's the juice on that?
Yeah, minus 110. Minus 110.
Yeah, that's the best one out there. Is that all we got?
That's all we've got right now.
Yeah, we're getting it. Curry's getting 30.
All right,
I see him getting probably pretty much matching what he did against the Bulls or more.
All right, we've got Dutch in action. He's on Steph Curry over 29.5 points.
The Warriors are shooting 37% from the field too, which is 30th in the league. It's just like, man, it's amazing. Like, it's just hard for me to back a team when I'm like Warriors, and I look at the numbers and it's just hard for me to put my money there. I mean, I lost it yesterday, so everything's screaming to me to bet them, but I don't know if I'm going to get to the window on the side.
I don't want anything to do with the Warriors. This is a Pistons or no bet for me, and I don't know if I can start a day of gambling with the Cavs and Pistons on my ticket, but I just find the Warriors are a very, very easy team to play against right now. Very, very easy. Let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. Warriors, Pistons, take it away.
I think it's so funny that you want to start like that, because that's exactly how I'm going to start this off. I'm going to start off with the Cavs and the Pistons, and a lot of that has to do with the paint in the paint, man. We're going to rely on James Wiseman, a rookie, to come in and hold down the paint with a rested Blake Griffin, a rested Derrick Rose, who's coming off a rest from tonight. And then also they're number 6 in points in the paint in these last 3 games. And that doesn't even account for what they did today. Now, Josh Jackson, what he dropped today was 27 points. We're probably not going to get that again. But if he gets to even what his average is, which is 12.5 points per game within these last 3 games, that's fine and dandy for me. So I will go with that. And I definitely endorse that Dutch prop with the Curry over, because if you think about what Curry has to do to even keep this team afloat or even some sort of competitiveness in the NBA court, he has to drop 30. So that's the only way that this even gets competitive. So as far as Oubre bringing out, that might help the Warriors, believe it or not, because he's been stinking it up, man. He started off good
in the shooting aspect, right?
Man, they're definitely going to help their percentage, because, like you said, they're 30th. They're dead last in the league at shooting percentage. Dead last in the league at giving up points as well. 130 points per game to opponents. Definitely not a good look. And I'm going to go with this Detroit team coming off a back-to-back. So it is a bad spot for them, but I believe that this is one of those spots that you're going to look at the matchup-wise, and matchup-wise, they might have the better players on the floor. So I'm going to take the underdog here and give me Detroit Pistons. I think I can get it at 4.
You can get it at 4 minus 110 at points bet. I'm going to roll with you on the Pistons. I agree with that look. I also like the Steph Curry at 29.5. That's my limit for props, and I just don't think it'll be available for me at 29.5. I really think that
it's going to get shot up a little.
I do. I think you getting it at this point in the night is going to. Yeah, it's not even close to being up.
Jimmy, but it won't be minus 10 for sure. I know that tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think it goes up over 29.5. That's a good look. Okay, so I'm going to move on the Pistons as well. That's at plus 3.5 at bet 365. We'll see what it is when I bet it. I'm going to move on the Pistons with you. So we have Dutch on Seth Curry over 29.5. We have Wham on the Pistons plus 4. And let's move on to 7 p.m. Eastern action. We have Celtics, Pacers, Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's see what we are dealing with here. Boston sitting as 1-point favorites. This total opened up at 221.5. It's now at 220.5. Celtics 24th in the league in pace to start the year, 100.17 possessions a game. Pacers 7th, 105.17 possessions a game. This is the second half of a home and home. Boston lost their second straight game, 108-107 at the Pacers. Oh, excuse me. Is this the second half of a home and home, or was that game? I have it at Indiana. Let me just make sure that
they both were in Indiana.
Yes.
So it's okay. So it's not a home and home. It's back to back.
Yeah.
Or 2 games. Thank you. Sorry, I have that wrong here. Let's not be giving out bad information. 108-107 at the Pacers on Sunday, and they play again. Tatum led the charge with 25 points and 11 boards. Tatum and Brown are both averaging 25 plus, but no one else is in double digits. They need a third option. Man, they're missing Kemba badly.
Yeah.
Pacers started the year by beating the Bulls and Celtics by double digits before squeaking past the Celtics. Domantas Sabonis has been excellent, averaging 24.3 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists a game. Oladipo was rested for the first game between these two. He's ready to roll tonight. The Pacers have 5 players averaging double digits. They have Sabonis, Oladipo, and Brogdon averaging 20 plus. We'll start with Wham Bam. I look at this and think, how do I not take the Pacers here? Take it away.
That's exactly how I was thinking as well. They're number 1 in points in the paint as well, 68 points per game. That's crazy. Just like you said, Sabonis has been looking at everybody as food, bruh. So it's crazy there. I like the way this team reacted to the coaching change, man. That's one thing I did want to say on this show, is that the way they extended the coach, and it seemed like they were doing like a JJ Barea to the coach by giving him extension and dropping him. They did the same thing to JJ Barea with the Dallas Mavericks, but neither here nor there. I feel like they're reacting to that as like this is a new beginning, even though there were recent reports that Victor Oladipo wanted to get traded, which was interesting here. I don't want to go anywhere else but to the window with Indiana, but I haven't pulled that one yet either, and I might not, honestly, because it seems like this team with Celtics, they're just a better team, and when they have players that show up, they may be able to pull it off. I think Wanamaker is a bad loss for them. I feel like some of other players is a loss, and I think Williams may not be active as well. So if they have to rely on the guy, Tristan Thomas, it might be a little issue there. So I don't want to really bet on any side here. I might be leaning towards the under, even though I think the numbers do point towards the over in certain aspects. But I think I might lean towards the under. I haven't really made anything official, but I want to hear you guys say what you guys have to say on this one.
I'm interested in the under as well, but I see Tatum. So Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the best players on the floor, but without Kemba, and we have a healthy Pacers team, I don't know at this point in the season, 3 games in, if the Celtics are a better team right now. That's what I feel. I think Pacers need to send a message. Let's hear what Dutch Boy Fresh has to say. Celtics, Pacers, take it away.
Okay, so the C's are 0-2-1, or excuse me, the Celtics are 0-2-1 in the last 3 ATS versus the Pacers. But actually, they're 8-3 straight up in the last 11 in Indiana on the road. They're 9-2-1 ATS in their last 12, and they're also and that's off a loss ATS off a ATS loss. Excuse me, 9-2-1. Now the last 3 games in the first half against the Pacers, the Celtics have been up +4, an average of 57 to 53. These are in the last 3 matchups, and now including last night's game, Sunday night's game, which would be the C's 54. We're up 55-49 at half. They did lose that game. Tatum had a shot to win. Didn't like the play call. Didn't like the shot, but they were in the game. Jaylen Brown didn't have the best game. He actually had a good game. He had 18 points on only had 1 3. He was 8 of 13 from the floor, so it's hard to say that's a bad game. But definitely didn't get enough tips. I mean, I had over 21.5. I couldn't, it's like the guy should be getting 24, 25 points a game at ease, especially without Kemba on the court.
Right.
Now, the points in the paint, the Pacers, you mentioned that. The Pacers were 60-42 plus 18 in the paint in this previous game. But I do think the Celtics are a scrappy bunch, like you mentioned, Wanamaker. I do think that, when Kemba comes back, they won't need him as much. Or, it won't be such a big sign that he's missing. When Kemba comes back, won't be such a big deal. Right now, you're really missing both of them too in the lineup or off the bench as well. But I really think that the Celtics are going to come out, play some good basketball. The Pacers might be the better team. That's why I'm going to stay away from the full game. But I'm going to go ahead and ride with the trend and stick with the Celtics first half. Do you have a line out there for me, Jimmy?
Yeah, let's get you the best line that we can get you. I'll also pull up Circa. We only use the licensed legal books, and it makes things tricky on our guys.
And from a prop aspect, it's going to be pretty square again. I mean, I love Sabonis. I hit it the other night. Even in a blowout, he still got me over on the points. We'll see what that is. Sabonis is nice, especially in that matchup. But if you're looking from a Celtics aspect, it's hard not to go with Tatum. He had 30 and 25 the last 2 matchups. He's not a good matchup for the Pacers. Like, he can pretty much do what he wants. He's either too quick or too tall, or too big. So I expect him to get anywhere between 26 to 30 points at ease. So we'll see where that prop does land. And I'm going to stay away from Jaylen, but I might see where it's at and might go right back to the well. Like I mentioned, he was 8 of 13. Go ahead, sorry, boss.
The bonus points is at 19.5. Jaylen Brown points 22.5. Tatum at 25.5.
Okay, so let's lock in the Sabonis.
That's about right.
Sabonis. This is juice to the under right now, so we're going to lock in. So you're going to get very low juice. Sabonis over 19.5 points. And that's just at -104. With these 2 teams so evenly matched, and the Celtics coming off a loss to them, it's going to keep me off betting this game. And the only move I would make would be the under. And even that, with the pace that the Pacers are playing with.
And it's been the last.
They play some trash games, though.
7-3 to the over between the 2 teams. So, I mean, I think it's competitive basketball, two competitive teams, but the over is in the numbers, so it goes against it. But I don't like either side, to be honest with you. I think the Celtics will show up, but I do believe it'll be a 1-possession, 2-possession game at the end.
I agree. And so it looks like we have all the props up at FanDuel. So Dutch,
what do you think about that Sabonis prop, Jimmy?
It makes sense, but
he should be able to do whatever he wants down low. He's nice, man. He could shoot. He could, if he gets to the line. I mean, he's continuing to get better from what I've seen.
That game plan has to be to stop the down low though. Their game plan has to be that.
Everything seems to be going through him right now.
Yeah. Right.
And if that's the case, you have to defend accordingly. And that's why I think it's a 19.5 point prop when he's averaging 24.3 on the season. I don't dislike it by any means.
100. Yeah, I think he's gonna get it because he's skillful. That's what you're saying. Like, you're banking on him to have, nice pick and pop possessions. For them to make points. And as far as the Pacers go, you would want to lean there because they have a lot of players. TJ Warren, he could come off back screens and hit jumpers. I think it was the last game. He didn't even dribble the ball. He was looking like Steph Curry. Klay Thompson for a second. He only was hitting pull-up jumpers. So, just catch and shoot jumpers. But I look at this game as one of those kind of a trap games just because it's so enticing. It makes you want to bet it. And the only other way of betting it is for me to take this under because, like you said, they're coming off a game of beating them. It's a revenge factor there. And if you look at Indiana, after them this tight game with the Celtics, the only other teams that they beat was, the Knicks, and I believe there was another Wash team, if I'm not mistaken, but it wasn't a team that we're really like looking at as far as Chicago, another team that's very bad defensively. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of don't want to bet Indiana, even though, like you said, Jimmy, the numbers are pointing you there.
And another thing I think about the props, Jim, real quick, about the 19.5, why it's still available. Depot's back. So, I mean, that probably might take away a couple shots. Hopefully it doesn't take away too many because I believe Sabonis is a way better offensive option than Oladipo.
I know, it just makes you think they can win without Oladipo. Now they add him.
It's almost
they're playing with pace. I know that doesn't tire out Tatum and Brown, but it tires out Marcus Smart.
Yeah, he only has one speed.
This is a tricky game for sure.
Yeah.
Celtics
can keep me paid first half, so I'm going to keep rolling with it.
And you got a nice spot there.
Sense,
you got first half plus a half at -110.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Half plus a half -110. Okay, so
we'll take a tie game. Fuck it.
No move for Wham and I here, but I am really leaning towards. I am leaning towards the Pacers, but this has got to be an angry Celtics team. So no, I'm gonna stay off. Okay, more 7 p.m. action for us. We have Raptors, Sixers. Raptors starting the year 0-2. We missed them very much in Toronto. Sixers are 2-1, 1-0 at home. Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Raptors 10th in the association at pace, 104.5 possessions a game. Sixers sitting 22nd in pace at 100.83 possessions a game. Sorry, I'm on Moneyline. Let me move over to spreads and get some spreads and totals for you. Philadelphia, 2.5 point favorites. There are 1.5 for the couple books. This total sitting at 218.5. Raptors are off to a rough start. Lost by 14 to the Pelicans before losing by 5 at San Antonio. Their defense has been awful, allowing 116 points per game. Chris Boucher is a lone highlight for us, and he's a big highlight. And we're very proud of him up here in Canada, averaging 17 points and 7.5 boards a game. Sixers lost at Cleveland on the second half of a back-to-back, 118-94 without Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons averaging 5.7 assists per game. They're just getting 22 assists per game. It's the same old story where they just don't get enough easy buckets that come with distribution. If there are any easy buckets for them, it comes through, turnovers and fast break points. It's not from distribution and playmaking. Raptors, Sixers, this is the fourth game on the card. So we start with Dutch Boy Fresh here. You got to move.
Okay, yeah, I do. So the Raptors are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 versus the Sixers on the road. They're 1-4 ATS in the last 5 overall. Now the under here is actually, I know you said the defense a little bit, but 7-2 last 9 to the under, and the unders for the Raptors 6-1 the last 7 in the Eastern Conference opponents. Now obviously Gasol a couple missed addition with the Bach out, but I mean they played to the under. Now the Sixers last 5 also went to the under. 8 of the last 12 have been under versus the Raptors, and the unders 3-1-1 in the last 5 meetings. So I literally think that with the Sixers, it's almost hard to take a under with Embiid inside because I just think he's real lazy. But when everything here comes to me, it just looks like an underplay to me. So what do you have for an over-under there, Jimmy?
Let's go to odds.com and see what we can offer you here. Full game. Sorry, full
And I was
game.
going to list, also
218.5.
218.5.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's pretty low. I didn't even get to see that number before I came on.
Yeah, there's nothing at these licensed books yet. Let me pull up Circa, but it's 218.5 offshore.
Yeah.
Are you looking at any player props in this?
Yeah,
spot?
while you're doing that, I'm looking at so Tobias Harris in the last 2 meetings versus Toronto in 2020, he had 22 points in each game. So it seems to be a pretty good matchup for him when he hits Toronto. Now, he did have a struggling game, I believe. The first game come back a little bit. He's averaging 14 and 7 for the game, but we know Tobias. He's very streaky, but he does have all the tools, to put up numbers. So I'm definitely going to be looking at Tobias Harris to get us at least 16 to 18 points. That should be no problem for him. Do you have a prop for Tobias Harris?
Yeah, I'll pull up the Tobias Harris prop right now, but we can get you 219.5 at Circa.
Nice.
So a little bit better than what we were dealing with.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty good. 219.5.
219.5. Yeah.
You know what?
Oh,
I would
wait.
like to hear Wham's breakdown on this.
FanDuel's up to. Oh wait, no, sorry, my bad. Yeah, FanDuel's at 218.5. All right, let's. Why don't we hear what Wham is planning on, and I will get you your player prop. Just food for thought with your player prop right now. Tobias Harris is at 16.5, and it's heavily juiced to the over at -122. Wham, take it away.
So I'm looking at this game as a bounce back spot for the Toronto Raptors. I think that it would be probable. He had back stiffness last time, right? And he was out. So he might play this time. I think he might not play. It's one of those things that you can see this as being a good spot for this well-rested team. Isn't the Toronto Raptors? This is their 3rd game, not their 4th game like the Philadelphia 76ers. I can't get that out of my mouth. But for this game, man, I'm looking at as far as the matchup wise, Tobias Harris should eat here. Tobias Harris should eat here because he's going to be one of the biggest biggest guys down there. Like you said, Chris Boucher is a great long lanky guy who had 7 blocks last game. Ridiculous. Like you said, Jimmy, something that you definitely have a bright spot. But I think Kyle Lowry got a step up. Is he's going to be I think he's going to be playing in this game. I like I like Fred VanVleet to have a good game here. I just think these guys are just going to do something a little bit what we haven't seen in these last few games from them. And as far as Philadelphia goes, it seems like they haven't had the good things that I thought they were going to do as far as with Seth Curry, with these other guys. I do like Maxey. I do like the other kid, Maxey and stuff, but I'm not really leaning towards any side here other than taking Toronto. But as far as the over under, if you're going to get, I think if you're going to get 220 or 219.5, probably I'll take the under. To be honest with you, I probably would take the under in this game. Like you said, these two defensive teams, and they have a lot on the line here in the division. This is going to be one of those games that's really circled early on. That's probably why Embiid will play, because it's one of those games that it's an important game for this short season. So I think this is one of those spots that you want to take the under. And this is why I would lean initially, but that's the only play I would say.
Yeah, I think the points are a little inflated too. When they played the Pelicans, they went crazy. Ingram, Lonzo had 4 threes. Bledsoe had 4 threes. So, I mean, that could inflate a little bit there, how hot the Pelicans were with the Raptors giving up points. Because they're only averaging 126 points a game, which is 26th in the league. The Sixers average 105, which is 28th in the league. So I mean, if we can just get a little bit of defense, we should be well under, 215.
Well, it's available for you, Dutch, under 219.5 at circa.
Yeah, go ahead and lock me in on that, Jimmy. I'm gonna go ahead and ride with your Raptors. They better show up a little bit on that defensive end.
Yeah, I mean that's all we're talking about up here. So if this wasn't so early in the season, I would be with you on this. But early in the season, my ROI on totals is very poor early in the season, so I'm going to stay off. But
I'm going to stay off that Tobias. Oh, sorry, not to cut you off. I'm going to stay off Tobias with that juice.
Yeah, pace wise, I get it. Why you're on this?
I'll tweet it out if I see something in the morning, and then we get something better. But you said it was 121, 16.5.
16 have it minus 122.
22, yeah, I would want maybe like 15 for that,
Anything for you here, Wham, or do we move on?
So I might be strongly leaning. Give me by the end of this. I think I might be taking the Raptors here just because I just believe that Philadelphia 76ers haven't played anyone at this caliber as far as coaching. Everything is hitting on all cylinders. It just hasn't did it yet these last two games for the Raptors. So they've only played, the Cavs, New York, and New York Knicks, and the Washington Wizards. So they beat the Washington Wizards and the New York Knicks, lost to the Cavs, which I love the Cavs. So I'm going to probably go Toronto Raptors. Matter of fact, what can we get on Toronto Raptors, bro? This might be my next pick right here for sure.
Let's see what we can offer you on the Raptors. Here we go. We move over to.
Embiid should eat too. I mean, his props are going to be juiced up, but he has who's guarding him down low?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to put Baines
on him. Huh?
Yeah, Baines could beat him around a little bit. But Baines is questionable though. Is he going to run?
Baines is going to play. I think this is one of those games you can't drop early. You can't drop this game early.
I seen he was questionable. I believe this one.
We could give you +2 at minus 109. Oh wow! Money coming in on the Sixers as we speak. That has moved to 2.5 at minus 109.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting.
The other way, to be honest, boss.
Let me look at this Baines thing just to make sure. I don't see him on the injury report. The only person that I see here is McCall.
Yeah, I just have McCall only.
Maybe I'm tripping. I thought I seen that.
Yeah, I take the. You know what? What's the money line on this game? What's the money line on this game?
Let's get the money line up for you right now. The money line, we're shopping at odds.com. You're not getting much. You're getting +108. Let me see if circa. Oh, they don't have their money lines out yet.
Take that 2.5.
I think the Raptors are going to come out hungry. I think the Raptors are going to come out angry. So I can't get. Let me just see if I can get myself that. No, I can't get a first quarter, but I am going to move on the Raptors first quarter when that is available to me. I think they come out fast, furious, angry. I just don't know if they can keep that going throughout the game.
So that makes sense to me as well, Jimmy. Let's go ahead and bookmark this bet. I'm going to take the Raptors first 20 points. That's the play I'm going to make. I'm going to make the Raptors first 20 points. That makes sense to me, bro.
Yeah, first to 20?
First to 20.
First to 20. Okay, and I will be able to get you that in the morning. All right, we move on to 7 p.m. Eastern action. Bulls Wizards is next on the next up on the docket. Wizards are sitting as 5.5-point favorites. There are some fives out there. This total sitting at 234. Bulls 0-3. This is our first road game of the season at the Wizards. 0-3, 0-2 at home. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. Bulls playing with pace. Man, are they playing with pace. 109.50 possessions a game, which would be shocking off. They did it over a full season. And then we talk about the Warriors at 112, which is just nuts. Wizards are fourth in pace, 106.7. possessions a game. Bulls coming off 129-128 loss at home to the Warriors on the second half of a back-to-back after losing their first 2 games by a combined 39 points. It was a step in the right direction. Lauri Markkanen averaging 20 points per game is questionable with a calf injury. Bulls have 7 players averaging double digits. They need more from Kobe White, averaging 13.7 points, 5 assists per game. Zach LaVine averaging 29.7 points, but turning the ball over 5 times a game. Bulls are allowing 126 points per game. They are an easy team to play against. Wizards are coming off back-to-back road losses versus Orlando. Bradley Beal averaging 33 points per game. Westbrook was rested on the second half of the back-to-back, but he is averaging 18 points and 13 rebounds a game. As soon as I say that, I get this feeling like I've got that wrong, like those games were in Washington. Let me just, for some reason, I think those games were in Washington, and
yeah, they were.
They were in Washington. Yeah, okay, sorry. My fault there. I don't know. It is 10 to 1 a.m. out here.
You're the busy guy, man. Come on, bro.
It's all good, brother.
Wizards are coming off back-to-back home losses versus Orlando. Westbrook rested on the second half back-to-back. 13 boards, 13.5 assists, 18 points is rested and ready to go. Let's start with Wham Bam. Bulls Wizards, take it away.
Yeah, that last game against Orlando was a very interesting game. They started it off hot early on, won the first quarter by 6 points. And it does seem like they just gave it up at the end, allowed the Orlando Magic to score 43 points on them. The Washington Wizards did. I'm looking at this Wizards team as possibly fool's gold early. They may be a pretty good team later on down the line, ATS, but right now it might not be one of those good spots to just be betting on this team because they got a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, Thomas Bryant dunking as far as attempt dunk on the other team, that's kind of a bad sign. And I like Scotty Brooks, but as soon as he started letting Westbrook coach, I started to give this a bad sign coming up here. So, and nothing wrong with Westbrook, don't get me wrong. It seems like he's giving a lot of great energy for this team. I think a lot of great energy that this team would have not had if he didn't get to this team. So I definitely do like him as far as the addition, but as far as this game, this is one of those bum fights I'm going to definitely watch from a distance. I might be able to live bet this game and make some money, but as far as right now, I'm not going to do anything. I think it's going to be one of those games that it may look lopsided early on, and then the other team comes back.
Who's playing defense in this game? The more I think about it, the more I'm close to moving on this over 234.
Hey, don't steal my glory.
Take it away. No, I'd like it if you're on it because I'm thinking of moving on.
Yeah, I'm loving that over, bro. Everything you were saying was just flowing too, Jimmy. When you were saying, I was like, okay, yeah, everything you're saying is over. But yeah, both teams shooting 50% or better from the field this year. The Bulls are 5-1 ATS last 6 versus the Wiz, 6-1 last 7 on the road versus the Wiz. Now they're also 13. The over in the last 20 games for the Bulls is 13-7 to the over. Now the Wiz are 3-8 in the last 11 ATS, 1-5 ATS in the last 6 at home. Now the over is 5-2 in the last 7. In the last 7 against the Bulls. So 5-2 in the last 7 overs versus the Bulls once again. So I'm loading up on that over. I love the over. I like the Bulls at 5.5, but with Merkin, however the hell you say the cat's name, I know Wham pronounces these motherfuckers' name like nothing. But go ahead. What's his name, Wham?
Marketing.
Yeah.
Lord
okay.
Marketing,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here, yeah. He I like him. You know, he's kind of soft, but you know he's good for the over because he gonna get points and then don't play no damn.
Free him, bro.
Yeah,
he
so
locked down.
I like him on the court. And the Wizards, they just seem to crumble in the fourth. I know Russ is the best player for 3.5 quarters, and I already know that. But with the Wiz, it's already showing that. And even with him not on the court last game, they crumbled. Like you said, they started off good, they was up, and then somehow they crumbled. I love Bradley Beal. To me, like you said, Jimmy, where are we seeing defense? I'm all over the over. I'm gonna wait on the Bulls 5.5 is what I was seeing. I'm gonna wait to see who's all playing because I do believe that probably won't move too much. And if you have some props, I would. I'm really gonna lean. Now Zach LaVine has averaged 34 points in the 3 games he played against the Wizards in 2020. He's averaging 24 for the season. Now, Bills averaged 35 points in the 3 games that he played against the Bulls in 2020, and he's averaging 33 points this season. So I'm definitely looking at Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine to be somewhere in, probably right around their average, about 30 to 35 points. And it's going to be a 125, 130 type of game.
He's sitting at 26.5, LaVine. Beal sitting at 29.5.
What's the juice on that, LaVine?
LaVine is at minus 108. So actually minus 112 to the under.
Okay, y'all lock in the LaVine and the Bradley.
Bradley's at 29.5. It's minus 114 to the over.
I'm gonna wait on that one.
Zach LaVine, and also I can give you.
I don't know if I should wait. I just don't like that. I got to get 30 and it's juiced.
Yeah, that 29.5 is a.
Yeah, I like Curry more because I know Curry's just gonna have the ball when it's 29.5. Beal, he has to, he'll get it, but it's like, man, I don't want it at minus 114. I'll wait on that. Do you have any Russ props up? Because we've been killing them assists and rebounds and double market on Russ. I don't know what they're doing.
It's triple-double Russ season, bro.
Hey, you already
triple-double Russ season.
Points and rebounds, or assist and rebounds, he's good for. Points, that shit come and go.
Right.
Russell Westbrook to record a triple doubles plus 260.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make that official, but I would drop half a unit on that because he gets a triple double. Just as you said, Brooks, Wham, Brooks is letting the cat coach the team. He's so ball dominant. Like, I thought they were going to be better. I might have to take this Wizard one on the chin because I was expecting them to be a lot better team. It's still awfully early. But what are we looking at with the Russ props, Jimmy?
His rebounds and assists are just at 17.5.
Okay.
But it's juiced to minus 130.
Wow.
They don't want you to bet it.
No.
They don't.
No.
Because they already know that they're letting them do it.
125, my bad, Win.
No, they know that Robin Lopez is clearing out the way. He's clearing out the way. He's like the top 5 box out percentage out of any big man in the league.
What's the points, rebounds, and assists on Russ?
Points, rebounds, and assists.
Because he had an off game. He's had 2 off shooting games, and he was hard on himself this last game.
40.5.
Oh.
It's minus 120 to the over.
Yeah, I mean, because that's 13. I don't like that.
13.
Yeah, I don't.
The only problem with his points is because you have
a lot, bro. But minus 130, like, I need a little better than that. But that's gonna hit if you want to lay the juice. I'm not gonna make a minus 130 official.
Wow, that's wildly interesting. 17.5 is much lower than I was expecting to see, especially.
Yeah.
Let's see, 8. So what do we get? Yeah, maybe I should lock that in. I just
because
don't want to bet
10 assists
over 125 on the props.
10 assists is probably his assist is probably at 10.5. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he's gonna get 10 assists.
It's been at like 8, bro. That's why I've been attacking it. And then what's the double, Jimmy?
The
minus 180.
I got I couldn't believe the juice I got on it last week.
Double. I don't know if he's offering one up.
Yeah, that's usually I have to get that off of DraftKings.
Oh no, I got. Oh no. Yeah, they're not offering that up.
Okay. 17.5 minus 130.
Yeah.
But you guys are talking about this over, man. This over seems like that is the play. The last 2 meetings for these 2 teams has been over, and I was back in February of this year. They played each other twice, and I mean, as far as what they're giving up the lower percentile, the lower 5%. 24th in the league in points per game, opponents points per game, 27th in the league in opponents per game. I mean, they're just really giving it up. So. That over does seem like that is the play. I might have to slide that one on there too, bro.
It's a party, man.
Yeah. I think we gotta go consistent on this one. Let's lock me in for that over.
So you guys are both getting 233.5 at minus 110 at Fox Bet. You're betting if you're betting a minus 130, you have to look at the implied probability of the bet. At minus 130, it's 56.52%. Does Russell Westbrook get you over 17.5 rebounds and assists 57% of the time?
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, lock me in, Jimmy.
All right.
You broke it down, my man. Good shit.
Russell Westbrook over 17 and a half.
And if I break this minus 130, well, I'll never do it again.
Okay, let's move on. We leave 7 o'clock action and we move on to 7:30 p.m. action. Bucks at Heat. Bucks 1-2, 0-2 on the road. They've lost all of their sparkle. Heat are 1-1, 1-0 at home. American Airlines Arena, Miami, Florida. Man, I want to go down there badly as soon as the border opens up.
Yeah.
Bucks 15th in pace at 103.17 possessions a game. It is not like them. It's not way under what we're used to, but it's certainly less than what we're used to with this Bucks squad. And they are 5.5-point road favorites. This total is at 222.5. Heat are 20th in pace at 101.5 possessions a game. Bucks coming off a shocking 130-110 loss at New York on Sunday night. They're allowing 117 points per game. They're not getting much distribution with just 22.7 assists per game. Drew Holiday hasn't looked great. 15 points, 4.7 assists per game. He's got to distribute the ball better. Chris Middleton's outscoring Giannis.
Yeah.
Heat are coming off a 111-98 win at home on Christmas Day over the Pelicans. That was a spot that you guys were on, and it paid out in full. I was on it as well. Jimmy Butler dealing with an ankle injury. He only played 16 minutes on Christmas. Bam has been leading the way with 21 points and 7.5 rebounds. The market moving towards the Bucks. Obviously, they need to bounce back, but also tells me that Butler's probably not going to be in the lineup. Maybe you guys have more information
I
on
believe it said doubtful for Jimmy.
that. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a 6th game on the card, so let's go to Dutch Boy Fresh. Take it away. Take it away here. Bucks Heat.
Okay, so like you mentioned, the pace is high for the Bucks. Now the 4-1 last 5 to the over, 5-1 the last 6 over on the road from Milwaukee. Now they're also at over 7-1 in the last 8 as a road favorite from Milwaukee. Now Miami's last 5.
Oh.
We've got Dutch Boy Fresh has frozen here. Let's pull him out and see if we go. He's back in action. He's back in action. But you froze for a sec.
Freeze him. Yeah. I'm cold with it.
Hey.
Okay, so did you hear the where'd you freeze at, man? Miami last 5 versus Eastern Conference opponents have went over?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm definitely looking at the over here. I think Jimmy's focusing more. That's going to allow more to the over. With Jimmy out, I like I mentioned before on the show, I like Hero and Robinson from a offensive perspective. I do not like it from a defensive perspective. I think we're going to get more Goran Dragic as well, which helps out the over. I believe he's more of an offensive player, obviously, than a defensive player. And with Jimmy, I just think the intensity leaves a little bit. I do definitely believe Milwaukee's probably the side to take here, especially off a loss. I'm going to look at him first half, though. I wanted to see what kind of line we're getting, but I definitely like this over for this game, Jimmy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's sitting at 222.5. We have Circa and FanDuel up. Let's see what if FanDuel is hanging a first half bet here.
What do you have full game on the Bucks?
Well,
and first half, my bad.
The Bucks are -5
okay.
at FanDuel. They're -6 at Circa.
They open at 4.5, I think, right?
Yeah, and first half is the Bucks -2.5 at -115.
Okay, you could lock me in on that and lock me in on the over as well, full game. And then, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to do that right now. And what were you going to add?
Looking at Middleton points and rebounds. He's averaged 20 now in that series and the bubble against obviously the Heat they got swept by them too. That's another reason I didn't mention that, but I do believe, I might have forgot about that until I seen it, but I know Milwaukee hasn't. I know Giannis hasn't. So they're going to come out, I think, real hungry. They'll probably cover this game easy, but I'll go ahead and stick with the first half. Now, Middleton's averaged 25 a game in the 4 playoff games in the bubble versus Miami. He's only actually player to me that's looked really locked in from Milwaukee.
Right.
He's averaging 26, 7 boards, and 6 assists for the game. for the season, excuse me. So, I mean, I'm not a big Middleton guy, but as a regular season player, he's nice. When it comes to the playoffs, he stands out a little more to me as, maybe not the guy I want on my team. But he's nice in the regular season. The numbers show that. Is there anything decent out there on Middleton, or they already know it's juice? Because, I mean, I believe Duncan Robinson's going to guard him. That Hercules is going to guard him. If you look at it, without Jimmy in the lineup, who do they have to guard Middleton? And even with Jimmy there, he's a little big for Jimmy.
He's at 20.5 points.
20.5?
Minus 106 to the over.
Ooh, lock that in. I love that.
All right, so you got Bucks first half minus 2.5, minus 115. Full game over 222.5, minus 110. And then you have Chris Middleton.
Yeah, before you lock in the actual points, what's his rebounds with the points, Jimmy? My bad.
No problem. His points and
I have that circled here because he's been getting, like I said, he's getting 7 boards a game. But I like that 20.5. Without Jimmy on the court, I say he's averaging 26, 25 against them in playoff
26.5.
What's that?
26.5.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. He cut out there. Okay, so it's 26.5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like 20.5. That's too good to be true.
No, 20.5 is points. 26.5 is points and rebounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, let's just stick with the points, Jimmy. My bad.
Over 20.
It's been a long day for me, my man.
No worries. We're rolling. Middleton over 20.5, minus 106. 3 looks for Dutch. And the more he talked, the more I think Bucks smash. Wham, take it away.
Yeah, I think the Bucks smash as well. It's possibly the reason why they're probably willing to give away the first of a home and home against the Bucks. They go play the Bucks again. I believe the next game that they have is on Wednesday. My apologies. Wednesday the 30th. Last game to close it out. They probably have Jimmy play that game and build that wall around Giannis that we've seen in the playoffs. They might try to attempt to do it again right now. It seems like that the Bucks are reliant on the bench production. They may just go as far as DJ Augustine is. He gets 6 shots a game. It looks like last game he shot 0 from 6. The game before when they did win, he did shoot, I believe, about 3 from 6 or 4 from 6. So he shot pretty good, about 13 points. Last game he didn't do as well. So they may be depending on him a little bit too much. I mean, as far as this team with the Bucks, man, I don't want to bet my money on them as long term in certain spots against weak teams. Yes, but this team really coached well. They could come out and whoop them without Jimmy Butler, and that's just relying on them shooting the threes. I mean, Duncan Robinson alone. I think you had the Duncan Robinson prop once, Dutch, and that one cashed so quick, so easy. I mean, he had
Christmas Day, baby. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was the easiest looking casher ever. So as far as him, he could easily, have a great hot game. Same thing with Hero. I wouldn't want to touch this game. I think this is one of those games I originally was like, I'm not going to touch this. This is a nice watch game because I don't have to have any action on this game to get excited. So I'm not going to do anything for it. I'm going to just sit back and check it out.
Yeah. And if Jimmy was playing, I would be in that boat. But with Jimmy not playing, I feel like it's an opportunity for us here.
Without a doubt, but the biggest thing for me is the Bucks being embarrassed
by the Knicks. That too, obviously.
Bucks coming in 1-2, perfect against a team that just completely
and off a loss too. They're money off of a loss.
Yeah, so I
don't know. You know what? I don't know if we carry forward the old Bucks stats at this point.
I believe that
after what happened in the bubble, that all that sparkle. I use that word, but it's fucking gone. It's fucking gone. All right, I'm hammering Bucks first half, full game, and I like Dutch's look on the over. 3 bets for me. I'm going deep.
What did you get on the prop for me, Jimmy? My bet on the juice.
Minus 106.
And the points and rebounds is
that was 26.5 points and rebounds, and that came, I believe, with more juice. I believe that was minus 115. Okay. I'll tell you that. Yes,
I almost feel like doubling down on that because I just don't see how he doesn't get that. Like he's averaging 34 just on the. I'll touch back on that before the show ends, but I definitely think both of those props are very juicy.
All right, let's move on to Magic Thunder. Magic 5-point favorites on the road. This total sitting at 219.5. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Magic 3-0, 2-0 on the road, and the Thunder played this evening. They played this evening They are on the second half of a back-to-back. They lost 110-109 tonight at home to Utah. Dortz went for 26. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander went for 23. George Hill's been running the show. We'll see how long he cares. First-round pick, 23rd overall, Darius Baisley is getting a ton of run. 33 minutes a game in each of his first 2 games. I love seeing him get that run. Magic are 5th in pace at 105.83 possessions a game. Thunder 6th in pace at 105.50 possessions a game. Orlando coming off back-to-back wins at Washington on Saturday and Sunday. Terrence Ross has come out hot, averaging 23.3 points per game, and is hitting 52.6% from 3. And every time I say the name Terrence Ross, I just think of my friend who worked at the arena and in Toronto, and he made a mixtape. He spent hours editing this mixtape for Terrence Ross, putting music on it, tightening it up. And he said, "Look, Terrence, I made this for you." Terrence was like, "Get the fuck away from me,
motherfucker." I hate cats like that.
Oh, it made me despise him. But I'm
Vince
trying.
Carter gave me that fucking treatment, and I'm like, dude, fuck
he
that
shoots
dude.
really well though.
I'm trying to get over it. James Johnson, thankfully took the mixtape that was made for him, and James Johnson's mom friended my friend on Facebook and said, "Thank you for making that tape about my baby."
See, James Johnson looks like a real cat too. See,
he a real one, bro. And he'll beat up Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross, he ain't that good to be acting like that, motherfucker.
He is hitting 52.6% from 3.
Okay, maybe.
Markel Fultz averaging 20.7 points per game. Vucevic averaging 17.3 points and 12 rebounds a game. With Fultz and Terrence Ross scoring 20 plus, we'll see how long that lasts. The NBA grind.
Very true.
Men win in the NBA.
Yeah.
Let's see Markel Fultz and Terrence Ross do this for a season. Oklahoma City on the second half back-to-back, as I said. Let's break this down. We'll start with Wham Bam. Magic 5-point road favorites. Have we ever said that? Have you ever said that before? Magic 5-point road favorites? Take it away.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It looks like they know what type of team that they're going to see in this game. I mean, this game was down to the wire with this Oklahoma City team against the Denver Nuggets. Went all the way down to the wire. If it was a Denver, no, my apologies, not the Denver Nuggets. That was the other game I was watching. Yes, the Jazz. I keep getting those high elevation teams mixed up. So it is for a reason, right? So for the most part, though, in this game, Shea Alexander, it looks like he was kind of out of it. He missed a layup at the end to win the game. He almost won the game, missed a layup at the end. That's a tough beat right there. They're coming off of a back-to-back, like you said. They're played tonight. And I like the Orlando Magic in this spot. They're 3-0. They're feeling themselves. They definitely have the better team. They're going to have the better team available now. Do they? Because could be a sneaky spot that, some of these guys end up not playing. Eric Gordon has been lingering with injuries and stuff, and they've been trying to shop him. He looks good already. It looks like he may have showed enough, and he's getting shopped right now. So I don't know as far as his availability as far as this game, but even if he's not in the game, I think Vucevic eats. I think a lot of these young cats eat. As far as, like you said, George Hill, how long is he going to play this well? He's been killing. He's been killing lately. But the same thing, like you said, for Fultz and Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross has been killing, but I think Fultz is here to stay, y'all. I think Fultz' production is here to stay. The way he scores, the way he commands the offense, and he's very patient. And having Cole Beasley coming back off the back end, the young kid looks like he's very poised for the NBA. I like this Orlando Magic team. Cole Anthony. My apologies, Cole Anthony. I like this Orlando Magic team long term, bro. So I honestly am leaning to taking the points on the road against the Magic, but I just don't trust that coach. So I'm gonna just slow down, and I'm not gonna take this. This is another game I might be looking in, but I am leaning towards the Orlando Magic, man, just because Toronto, the Thunder, as far as NBA teams tanking, they're not going to tank, but this is a tanking type team. This is the tanking type team. So I would definitely look at the Orlando Magic as one of those teams that's trying to compete and beat out the Miami Heat for this position in the Southeast Division. So I like Orlando.
I do too. You know, a couple of the books have already moved up to 4.5. Interestingly enough, from that 5 opener. Yeah, this is game makes me uncomfortable. Let's see what our Dutch boy Fresh has to say. Magic Thunder, take it away.
Okay, so the Magic have really impressed me, to start. I've always liked Vujacic down low. I think he's a nice, solid big man, can score, can shoot, and can rebound. Aaron Gordon, he's athletic. I don't really think his game has improved too much over, but he's no slouch. But yeah, like you said, if Terrence Bronson, Marquez Fultz is going to do that every game, or even somewhat close to that, then Orlando's going to be a team that we should be backing. I think I do need to see it a little more. There's no way I go to the window here with OKC. I don't know if I could back the Magic right now, but everything that you've said says to me that I do want to bet the Magic. I think I'll look a little bit more into this game. And you already said it went down to 4.5, so there's no rush for me to bet it. If people are looking at the OKC side. I mean, when I see OKC, I like Shea Alexander. Like you just said, they had a tough game, tough outing for him. They lose 110-109 tonight. So I don't see how we could look anywhere else but Orlando. It's just a matter of do we want to trust them with our money?
I came close to thinking about Oklahoma City first quarter. It's something I'd like to do later in the season, back-to-backs, when I know that the players are going to be available, which I assume they're going to be available here, and betting on a lethargic Magic team. But I just, it's too early in the year for me to
if you would have bet it tonight, you would have cashed. They covered a +9 spread against the Utah, and they covered the first quarter and won
they was
outright.
up the whole damn game, damn near.
Yeah, so they would have did tonight, and honestly, that's the reason why I'm not betting it, because it's scary. Like, it could be one of those things that they look like, again, like you said, Lou Dort, he was hitting threes. Threes. I can't do it. I can't go against that. You know what I mean? If he's hitting threes, man, they're going to be even tough. They're going to be at that same level, not at a playoff team, but they're going to be not that far off as far as a drop off for losing like a legendary Hall of Fame point guard. So, that's pretty impressive, honestly.
All right, it looks like no moves across the board for us here.
Most definitely.
All right, let's move into Pelicans. Suns is next up here. Suns sitting as 3-point favorites. That's moved to 3.5 at the indicator books. This total sitting at 223. It did open at 222. Pelicans 2-1, 101 on the road. At the Suns 2-1, 1-0 home. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. Pelicans 23rd in pace, 100.67 possessions a game. Suns 19th in pace at 101.67 possessions a game. That was something I expected from the Suns. The Pelicans slowing down is something that has surprised me. And Lonzo Ball averaging 4.3 assists per game has surprised me. If you look at just the pace of these two teams, you would want to hammer this under. That's open at 222 and it's moved up to 223. So I don't know how much we should trust this early season pace scenario. Pelicans coming off 98-95 win at home over the Spurs on Sunday. The Spurs are putting up massive points against everybody else. Not here. The Pelicans are allowing 101.7 points per game, averaging just 21 assists per game. Brandon Ingram, excellent, 26.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, 6.7 assists. Suns are playing their third game in 4 days. We know what that means from a betting perspective. They won the second half of a road back-to-back 116-100 at Sacramento. They have 5 players averaging double digits, led by Booker's 22.7, Chris Paul averaging 12.7 points, 9 and 0.7 assists, and Cameron Johnson taking a nice step forward this year, second year in the league, averaging 14.7 points per game. Here we go. Dutch Boy Fresh, Pelicans Suns, take it away.
Okay, so this game I actually am really intrigued to watch. I've got a lot of questions about how good is Phoenix, and about the Pelicans. I like the Pelicans. I like what I see from Ingram. Zion is, here or there, and Lonzo's so streaky. It's just hard for me to back them because they can either be really good or really bad. And that's pretty much Lonzo's, that's him. He's either great or complete shit. So I want to watch this game, and maybe I think this is a great play, in-play game, see where you're at. I would lean the home team, but just to me, it's a lot of question marks. I do think there's some good value when I look into the prop market here. Now, this is a little bit off of what you like to look in, Jimmy, coming off a bad game, but she's actually coming off 2 bad games, and it's going to be J.J. Redick. Now, the last game he had coming off 19 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 8 from the field, and 0 of 6 from 3. He did have 8 points the game before. Didn't shoot horribly, I believe. But the first game he had 23. He's coming off of two subpar games and 1 really bad game. Now, in the 2 matchups that he did play last year against Phoenix, he's averaged 20. He had 26 in each game. So he likes playing against Phoenix, and he's stroking it. Like I mentioned, he had 23 in game 1. I'm gonna go ahead and look for him to bounce back big here and find that corner 3 and start attacking a little bit more. Because like I mentioned, the one thing about the Pelicans for me is they have all the talent in the world, but they don't have shooting. JJ has to be on the court to spread it for Zion and Ingram, especially for Zion. So he has to get his minutes. I mean, he's averaging 24 minutes a game, 11 points with 2 really bad games. What's the prop market looking like for JJ, my man?
They haven't opened them up.
Okay.
FanDuel has not opened them up, but
I will. It should be right around 12 and a half, I would think.
I would think so, yeah.
And we'll definitely fire on that. I mean, JJ is getting us 16 to 18 points.
I think that's a great look. So we'll find out as soon as that's available. We'll connect in the morning. Let's go over to Wham Bam's spot here. Pelican Suns, take it away.
Yeah, like you said, Jimmy, these both 2 teams, they're very great defensively and towards the pace. They've been slow. Top four team in defensive rating the last 3 games for NOLA, and the Suns top 3 defensive rating. They've been slowing it down, but as far as this team man goes, I honestly think it's going to be a matchup nightmare on both ends. On the offensive end, I think as far as Zion and Ingram, those 2 pairing, and if you could get something out of Lonzo, like you said, Dutch, the guy is so streaky. His last 2 games, he's shooting 23% from 3, looking terrible, bro. And it's all 13 shots. Like one time, one of them I had over 2.5 threes for him. Didn't even get close to that shit. So he got close. He got to 2, but he didn't get and he got them early too in the first half. I thought it was a casher. Couldn't even
let him shoot though, so
and they let him shoot, man. So it's one of those things that I honestly don't have any faith in their offense being set properly against this defense that's allowing opponents. Actually, the number 1 in allowing opponents per assist per game in the Suns in this short season. So it's a small sample size, but as far as these things being magnified and having a great coach like Monty Williams, this could be something that goes long term because they already got great defenders. Aiden just going to get better. Mikal Bridges, he's just only going to get better. And like you said, Cam Johnson, I think he had 27 points today or something around there. If he starts to click, he's one of those sneaky guys, just like Christian Wood came out of nowhere. He could come out of nowhere just like that. So I look at this Suns team as legit, but are they legit enough to beat this wild, nicely bunch of talent baby Laker team? I don't know, bro. So I'm going to low key stay off of it. But honestly, I'm honestly leaning NOLA in this spot just because I think they have just a little bit more of a matchup problem for them. And if Chris Paul isn't having a great game, you got to really rely on, I feel like, those other 2 young talents. And if they haven't really been proven as of yet. So I'm low-key kind of off this game, to be honest with you guys. But if I was to do anything, it's going to be leaning NOLA, and I'm going to take the points there.
And it's 3 or 3.5. I watched the Pelicans completely take apart the Raptors in the second half of that opening game. And then I've seen the Raptors just look terrible against the Spurs. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. And I need to see more of the Suns with Chris Paul in charge. So I don't feel comfortable looking for an edge. Although I do think Dutch's look on JJ Redick makes sense because Redick played with so much passion in that Raptors game. So obviously he's nonplussed and having a couple bad games. So we'll see if we can pull that up for Dutch. We move on to another 10 p.m. Eastern spot. Timberwolves, Clippers. Clippers 8-point favorites. This total at 229.5. Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. Wolves 13th in the league in pace, 103.83. Clippers 29th in pace, 98.17 possessions a game. We've lost Wham, but I expect him to join us back here shortly. Clippers coming off that shocking 124-73 loss at home versus the Mavericks on Sunday night. They were down 77-27 at the break. Kawhi dealing with a mouth injury. Tuesday's game will come on the front end of a back-to-back. So the idea is that Leonard won't be in this game. If Leonard's out, then Kennard will start. Karl Anthony Towns dealing with a dislocated wrist. So Naz Reid starting in his place. D'Angelo Russell needs to step up. He's averaging just 15.7 points per game. First overall pick, Anthony Edwards, coming off the bench and averaging 16 points per game. A very, very interesting spot here. Timberwolves, Clippers. We'll start with Dutch Boy Fresh. Take it away.
Okay, I'm going to keep it pretty short on this because there's a lot of questions for me without Kawhi and then with Towns, obviously. But the only way I would look is the Clippers. You get your ass whooped by 50 points. You're down. You're Twitter meme everywhere. You're the laughing stock yesterday. And on the NFL, and you still got a lot of play because of that. People just didn't even believe the score, 77-27, I believe it was at half. Just unreal. And then Paul George to say, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, come on, dude. Like, I like you. You're my guy. Like, don't say that dumbass shit. It's a big deal, bro. You're down 50 at half. I know Kawhi wasn't there, but ain't no way that should happen, especially to a team that they played, pretty physical and had a good game, good series in the bubble. So I could only look the Clippers here. I do believe they'll bounce back, but I need to know who's going to be in the lineup, what's going. Like you mentioned, I do think Kawhi won't play. But did you say you have a line for the game, Jim? Because when I was looking before we came on, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's 8. It's 8. The first half right now for the Clippers is -3.5, but it's at -125 juice. -3.5 for the Clippers first half. That seems like a.
Seems like they won't. Yeah, seems. Yeah, I'll stay away from that just because they might start slow. But they almost want you to bet that. That's crazy. 3.5, like, yeah. I mean, tricky, I want to bet that right now, even at -125. But I'll stay away from the Clippers right now.
Yeah, bro, stay away from the toenail slippers, bro, because I wouldn't trust them I wouldn't trust them with my enemy's money, bro. At this point, because I mean. I'm sorry for cutting it off, Jimmy, because I know you're gonna go back and say what you're gonna say, but I honestly just look at this game as a future look before the beginning of the season. So I actually circled this game. I was like, this is gonna be a Minnesota Timberwolves spot if I haven't seen one ever. This is the spot. This is the spot, and sure enough, they get blown out the game before. Just like you said last show, Jimmy, you don't want to go against the team because they just got spanked. I wanted them to win that game, or you know what I mean? Not even win that game. I didn't think they were going to win the game against Dallas. Don't get me wrong, because I had the money line, but especially with the Kawhi news being out, I thought they were going to lose that game. But that game being blown out like that, I didn't anticipate them getting blown out like that, to be honest with you. So. This game right here, I want to go so hard on Timberwolves just because it's a bad matchup. But without Cat's not playing because he has a wrist issue, and this Kawhi Leonard, Paul George thing, and like you mentioned, Dutch, for him to go out there after them losing by 50 points on a Sunday morning game. And it's interesting. I want to bring this up as well because last year I took my kids right before all this stuff shut down. I took my kids to a Clippers Sunday morning game, and it was Paul George bobble night. It could not be this much irony as this. They get smacked up by Shake Milton and the 76ers. I'm telling you, he smacks them up. People next to me is like, this guy can't miss. He's just doing anything he wants to do. Pull that stats up, man. Shake Milton was cooking their ass.
Got him,
and it was a Paul George bubble night, and we go on to have this type of season. It just doesn't seem right. This team just doesn't seem like if you ever watched that movie and they had that one character, Can't Get Right. I can't get the movie out of my head, but his name is Can't Get Right. I feel like they can't get right with the Clippers, and this is a spot that honestly the number one pick might just go off for a career high, and just cook them out. But I'm not going to go all the way there and say that. But the +8, and like you said, the first half being -3, 125, that shows me, man, Timberwolves might be a little bit stronger than everybody thinks. So I'm gonna stay off of this. But originally, this was my look at the
Come
Timberwolves.
on, Wham, all that. You ain't going to the window, bro.
I can't do it
with that because of Towns, though. Because Towns, that's a big thing.
That's the
Towns
only
ain't
reason
out there.
why.
Come on,
That's
bro.
the only reason why. Man,
Yeah.
if he was in, it would have already been bet, bro. And it would have been the line wouldn't been at 8.5. It probably would have been like 5. Even with them being blown out by 50 points, it still would have been like at 5 because this team, the Timberwolves, they're starting to build some pieces up together. You know what I mean? They have a pretty nice little team that's going around, but they still make some stupid adjustments later on down the line. They still do dumb mistakes and stuff like that. But
right,
I can't go all the way with it because, like you said, hey, Paul George is going to still play great. I think he's still going to play pretty good level, just like Steph Curry. I think he's going to still play great level. He's going to weather this storm, but it is a crazy storm. It is El Nino storm, bro.
I'm going to move on the Clippers first half. I just don't know what to do with that juice. I prefer -4 at better.
Just wait till the 4 comes out, Jim.
What do you think about D'Angelo Russell stepping up?
I mean, he had a bullshit game coming out. I guess that fits into what you say because he didn't play too well just the other night. I seen the stats; they didn't look good. I don't like the kid, to be honest with you. I mean, he just looked like he don't give a fuck. I don't like kids like that. He got all the talent in the world, but he's cruise control, man. Like, I don't like it, but I do think you probably get some value there.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Beverly's there to get his ass too. So I don't know if I'm too high on that, but he'll probably eat Lou up when Lou comes off the bench.
Yeah, that Laker game was bad. That was bad. He only shot 7 shots in that game. But I mean, it was kind of already curtains. And my idea is that the Lakers are trying to get it to be curtains early. They didn't do it tonight, but I think that's kind of what they're pushing. And we see LeBron. It looks like he's probably going for Kareem for the points. He's coming in and he's not doing any lows manager. He's trying to have that narrative be the total anti-Kawhi as possible. So it's very tricky, man. I think you might be on the right path though, Jimmy, taking that first half Clippers because they can't just come out and do anything. They gotta put their foot on this neck.
They have to step up early here, and this is a nice spot without Cat out. So I'm going to move on the Clippers. I just might have to wait if it's at -125 right now. Let's move on to the final game of the evening. Nuggets Kings, Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Nuggets 1 and 2. They played this evening. Kings 2-1, 1-1 at home. Nuggets 27th in the league in pace, something they're used to. 98.61 possessions a game. Kings are also playing at a slower pace. 21st, 100.99 possessions a game. The Kings opened up their season with a 124-122 overtime win over these Nuggets in Denver, and you have to think that Denver wants to change that. I have to think that. Even though there's a second half of a back-to-back, they're angry. But those second half of back-to-backs are dangerous. Denver is sitting as 2.5-point favorites right now. This total opened up at 224. It's now down to 223 or 223.5. The pace implies they're not going to get near that total, which is very tricky. And we dealt with that in which game? We dealt with that in – where is it? In the – let me pull it up. These games are in this New Orleans.
You're talking about the Pelicans game? Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. We dealt with this exact same situation where the pace was telling you that, they're playing at 100 possessions a game. Yet the total opens up at 221 at the indicator books and is up to 223. When the total does not match the pace, and I know it's very early in the year, we shouldn't take too much in pace, but that just is a red flag, run away from the total for me. Kings opened up their season with that win over the Nuggets. In that game, Barnes, Fox, and Buddy all scored 20+. Is that going to happen again? They're coming off splitting back-to-back games with the Suns at home on Sunday and Monday. This is their third game in 4 nights. Nuggets are on the second half of a back-to-back after easily beating Houston 124-111 tonight. Jamal Murray took a heavy shot to the head, but returned in the fourth quarter and put up 21 points. 14 players saw the floor for the Nuggets. Only Jokic and Murray played over 30 minutes. Do the Nuggets fight back here? Let's go with Wham Bam, last game of the night. Nuggets Kings.
Yes. So this is my last look here. This is the last look for the night here. And why not? Why not talk about a team that just came off of a big win? And it looks like Jamal Murray had a scare in the third quarter. Got hit in the head, did return to the game. That is an indicator to me that maybe if there's some lingering effects, if he has some sort of headache or anything, they might push him in concussion protocol or something crazy like that. I don't know, but he might not be available. I wouldn't be surprised if they go game time decision on Jokic. He had 33 minutes this last game in tonight's game. He might not be playing. I believe, and I think the right way to approach this game is to look at the team that's playing really good possession basketball, which I believe is this Sacramento team. They've been playing really good on the boards, and this team in Denver been very bad on the boards. Now today they did play a Houston Rockets team that's known for not having any bigs. They do not have Cousins today. They had Christian Wood out there, but it looked like he was getting banged up left and right. I mean, he was playing pretty good as well, but he's more of a perimeter big rather than being a down low big. If you look, they did take advantage of that matchup today, but I don't think they're going to have that much of a advantage in the down low department. Looking at Bagley, looking at Rashawn Holmes, looking at the second unit for this Sacramento Kings to step up, Tyrese Halliburton. I know you say I pronounce him pretty good. I'll be trying to practice, bro. Tyrese Halliburton. He's been cooking, man. Give that guy Rookie of the Year or something. If he continues to do this, he'll have my vote, honestly. I know there's other rookies out there that's cooking, but, you know, Patrick Williams, LaMelo Ball, all these other guys, Anthony Edwards that we mentioned earlier. But Tyrese Halliburton, man, I'm starting to second guess Luke Walton. I used to be down on Luke Walton, but these teams been playing pretty tough lately. I think this team is going to play really tough again, and they're really rested. This is a away game for the Denver Nuggets. I think the Denver Nuggets might be resting some guys, and if they are, it's going to be some of the key guys like Jamal Murray, Jokic, and give me Bagley here. He could be resting as well. Give me Darren Fox though. Give me Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield as well, who had a big game in the last game. So I want to go ahead and knock that in. So give me a Sacramento Kings money line. I got that plus 120, so I know we probably get a little bit better.
Nice.
Where else?
Let's get you the Sacramento Kings money line. This is their third game in 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep that in mind. But I can understand taking this now, expecting the Nuggets not to be using their full squad in this spot. I'm going to line shop for you. While I do line shop for you for Kings money line, Dutch, take it away.
Yeah, I'll keep it real short and sweet, bro. I'm not on this game. I'll sweat this play from my man Wham Bam here.
You don't have to.
And I think I like it real nice now because I wouldn't be surprised if, Denver's not playing some players like you said. I don't see why they put Murray out there if he's, get a little bit, even if he's just, got a little lightheaded, just rest him. Sacramento. We'll see though. But yeah, I'm off this game, Jim. And if my juice is getting low on here, bro. So if you lose me, my juice is gone, bro.
We're done right now.
I'm not saying I'm trying to. It's I don't got the charger here. My juice is low, and I'm like, damn, it just said 10% a minute ago.
Well, let me cap this game off since we don't got no action on here. I'll tell you guys this though. As far as Sacramento goes, they're number 5 in points in the paint, and this team in Denver, they're giving up 46 points per game. And that's just almost 11 more points than what Sacramento is doing a game. And they're killing on the boards, man. 60 rebounds a game. As far as Denver is one of the bottom teams in allowing rebounds. And they can't really get any rebounds as well. They only average 47. Again, they did good tonight, but they might not do it good against this type of competition. So that's what I'm saying. I think the Jeremy Grant, we talked about Jeremy Grant stepping up for the Detroit Pistons. That is a big loss for them. So not having Jeremy Grant, not having some of those guys to battle down low, Paul Millsap might not play. Or, one of these guys that's played well today. Paul Millsap had a great game the last 2 games. Those guys being out, I'm liking my chances. I'm taking the money line.
Wham is on the Kings plus 118 on the money line. The fact that the Kings ruined the Nuggets season opener has me hesitant. So I'm not going to make a move at this point. Let's review everybody's action here and see if there's any additions. We start with Knicks Cavaliers. Wham and I are both on the Cavs, minus 3.5. We get to Warriors Pistons. Dutch is on Steph Curry over 29.5 points. Wham and I are on the Pistons. Celtics Pacers. Dutch is on the Celtics first half plus 0.5. He's on Sabonis over 19.5 points. And nothing for Wham and I. Raptors Sixers. Dutch is on the under 219.5 at minus 110. Wham's on the first 220, and I'm on the Raptors first quarter. That's not available yet. Bulls Wizards. Dutch is on the over 233.5. Actually, we're all on that over. I'm going to get 234 when I bet it. Dutch is also on Zach LaVine over 26.5 points. Russell Westbrook over 17.5 rebounds and assists, which makes a ton of sense. And we move on. Bucks Heat. Dutch is on Bucks first half minus 2.5. The over 222.5. And Chris Middleton over 20.5 points. Wham stayed off. I'm Bucks first half, full game and over. Magic versus Thunder was a stay away for all of us. Pelicans, Suns, Dutch is on JJ Redick prop, which makes a ton of sense. Wham and I are off. Timberwolves, Clippers. I'm on Clippers first half, and I may move on them first quarter when it becomes available. You guys are off. And then Nuggets, Kings. Wham is on the Kings money line plus 118, and Dutch and I are off. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm the Tobias Harris prop. Definitely we would look to between that out too. I don't believe we have a number on that right now, right?
No, we had Tobias.
It was juiced up, right? Minus 114.
Yeah.
Or it's 122, half 14 or 15.5, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna wait on that.
Alrighty. There you have it. Follow our guys at TrotWham and at DutchBoyFresh on Twitter. They're running very hot. Dutch 11 and 5, 68.6%, 5.36 units here on the show. Wham 4 and 1 plus 2.90 units on here on the show. We're running hot. Let's keep it going. Thank you guys for watching. On behalf of Dutch Boy Fresh, TrotWham, and myself, let's keep it rolling. Let's get paid in full. Let's get that cash.